Alright, this is John Cola with OKRaw.com. I've been into raw foods now for 15 years, so definitely my diet has changed over the years, and I've, now found literally the keys to raw foods. And you know what? The keys to raw foods is not going in the supermarket or the health food store and finding something labeled on the package that's raw. It's actually not even buying things in a package or in a jar or a bottle or anything else. It's about eating fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's what I found. And to do that, the best quality food is food that you're going to grow in your own front yard. And literally, this is my own front yard. I have a video series, it's a YouTube channel, Growing Your Greens, to teach you how to do just that and how to grow your own food. But my challenge today is going out to all the raw food chefs out there. Kudos to all you raw food chefs out there for all your work to make, making food for people is a really hard job. I did want to do it at one point, but I'm not going to do that now. So I'm glad you guys are out there spreading the word and the message and making food and making delicious food for people, and having it fill their stomachs and them get really excited about raw foods, because that is how the raw food movement grows and becomes bigger. But at the same time, I have some issues, or challenges with, raw food chefs out there that are making things that are really heavy and dense, high fat, high sugar, high, artificial sweeteners, just about in some cases, things like agave maybe, aren't so good for us, and cacao, technically it's kind of a drug, and even though it's raw, one of the talks I give is just because it's raw doesn't mean it's healthy. I'm not going to get into that today, but I have two challenges for all you raw food chefs out there. Challenge number one is increase the quality of the ingredients that you use, okay? So what do I mean by that? So, I mean by that is, instead of going to the Whole Foods and getting the organic spinach or organic romaine lettuce, go to your local farmer's market the day before your catering gig, or if you own a restaurant, get your stuff direct from the farmer, or even better yet, grow it yourself so that you could put rock dust and, which adds minerals to the soil, which makes the food really taste good. So then guess what? You don't need the salt when your food tastes good, tastes salty and sweet, because the minerals are in the soil. Our food tastes so horrible because our food is lacking of minerals. So, and then we don't need to use Celtic sea salt to get our minerals. We know we have the minerals in our food, besides the point that Celtic sea salt is 99% sodium and 1% minerals. Go look it up, it's online. So it's really high in sodium and it messes our sodium-potassium balance up. That's another talk. So increase the quality of the ingredients you use, number one. So, start growing it yourself. I really respect chefs that have their own, literally, kitchen garden and use food that they grew out of their garden to prepare for people. I mean, that's the highest, man. That's awesome. Okay, so that's challenge number one. Challenge number two is simply this. Make all your creations and strive to make all your creations using a higher percentage of fresh, raw fruits and vegetables. And that's not so hard. I mean, a lot of the raw things I see are, raw cakes and raw candies and raw cookies. All those things are dehydrated. Hey, and you and me and everybody else in the world that's alive, we're at least 70 to 75% water. And if we're not eating that high water-rich foods, it's going to dehydrate us. So, although dehydrated foods and things are nice, it should definitely be a smaller portion of the meal, number one. Okay, so that's the dehydrated stuff. Number two, what I want to see is that, people using less nuts and seeds. I mean, things tend to be really fatty and really dense. So, I'll go to potlucks, I'll go to restaurants, and everything's really heavy and dense, and I know that's what the standard American person likes, because that's what they're used to. But we need to move away from that. And what I've learned over these 15 years of being raw, and I got into raw because of a health challenge. I almost lost my life when I was younger. I learned that it's all about the freshest food. Think about it. Every other animal on earth, right, eats fresh food. They pick their food fresh, or they literally eat it off the plant if they're herbivore, or, and we don't. We eat things out of packages, bottles, and we eat things with ingredient labels. We don't want to eat things with ingredient labels. And to, move forward in this raw foods movement, we all need to be eating a higher quality diet, because when we feed people a higher quality diet and foods with a higher water content, fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, you know what? you're going to get faster results. People are going to lose weight faster. They're going to feel better faster. You know, they're going to heal themselves faster. Everything is going to happen faster. And, you know, that doesn't happen as fast as when you feed them dense, concentrated things that literally, you know, plug up and slow down your body. I mean, I'll eat some raw food meals at some places and I'll immediately come home and feel like I want to take a nap, like I just ate a big Thanksgiving meal when I was, you know, eating a conventional diet. So, you know, it shouldn't be like that. Many times when I go to a raw foods potluck or even a raw food restaurant, you know, there are a few exceptions. You know, I get indigestion and gas and bloating. I don't feel well. Maybe I'll even have some loose stools. And, you know, it shouldn't be like that. So, you know, I want to better this movement, do my part. So I'm making a challenge out to everybody, all the chefs out there. And even if you're not a chef, if you're just eating raw foods, listening to this message, that's great. You know, we need to be eating a higher, you know, a percentage of fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, because that's what raw foods is all about. It's not all these packaged things, not about all these, you know, things in a bottle and extra sweeteners. You know, use fresh fruits and dried fruits for your sweeteners, you know. And, you know, I know this is new to you. You know, you've learned how to use, you know, agave and all these things in a bottle and jar to make your things, you know, in superfoods. Well, use fresh foods. They're the best superfoods of all. All right, so hopefully I've motivated you a little bit, and hopefully you're going to eat some more fresh stuff and put some more fresh stuff in your recipes. And the other thing I want to mention is that, you know, people look up to you guys and girls as raw food chefs. You know, they see what you do and they duplicate what you do. So when you make food for people and when you teach people and when you write a book, you know, people are going to copy that book. And that's how it's happened. You know, a lot of people in a lot of raw food recipe books, they'll see, oh, this chef used agave and this and this and this and even maple syrup. Now, maple syrup's not even raw, but, you know, one person, Giuliano, started using it and he has it in his book. And then guess what? Oh, a chef saw that. Oh, I'm going to use it in my book. Giuliano used it. It's all right. They use agave. Oh, agave's all right. Well, look up and do a search for agave. You know, there's some issues and controversies about agave. And yes, it does raise your blood sugar. So, you know, strive to be that leader and step out ahead of the pack, you know, and make things that are fresh and vibrant out of your own kitchen garden and using more fresh fruits and vegetables. I will applaud you for it, and all your people that eat your food will thank you for it, because you know what? When they eat your food and not somebody else's food that has all that dense stuff, people are going to get better results, they're going to feel better, and they're going to come and thank you, and you will be ahead of the pack. So I hope that each and every one of you chefs and people out there too are hearing this message and strive to make a difference in the raw foods movement and drive it forward to the future. All right, so this is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time.